Authortube Audiobook Anthology brings you Miss Karma, written and narrated by Carrow Brown. The only good thing the man did was block the sun as he sneered over the woman sitting at the folding table. "Aren't you ashamed of yourself?" he asked, his voice tense and loud for all to hear. The dusky-skinned woman looked up at him, her brown eyes seeing him through her thick black hair. Her hands, manicured and delicate-looking, continued to shuffle the tarot cards as she had been doing before he arrived. "Excuse me? You're a fucking scam artist taking advantage of vulnerable people." A few of the people walking by on the sidewalk slowed or paused to watch the pair. Cell phones started to pop out and pointed in their direction. The fortune teller shifted at the unwanted attention, her swallow visible to anyone watching. "I offer a service in exchange for compensation. No one is forced to speak to me, sir." "Yeah? Well, maybe I should provide a service and stand here and chase off the people that you're trying to take advantage of." "Please, there is no need for that. I am just conducting my business." "Yeah? Are you?" He pulled out a chair and sat on it, leaning into the woman's face. "Since you're providing a service, let's see what you can do." "Sir, let's see how good you are." Her face shifted, eyes going to the slowly forming group around them. Pulling in a breath, she closed her eyes and exhaled slowly before opening her eyes to meet his. "You are angry because you were just fired from your job and are still mourning the loss of a loved one. This transference of feelings you have is because of your sister who died at the hands of an abusive boyfriend who she was encouraged to stay with by a fortune teller that you were assuming that I am." The color in the man's face shifted from red to white and then between until he almost resembled a type of rainbow sherbet. Gathering up her cards, the fortune teller continued, "Your day will not get any better if you do not make better choices starting now." His lips pulled back into a snarl. "Are you threatening me?" "There is no threat, sir, just a warning." "So you are threatening me." She pulled out her phone from her bag. "No, I am calling for an ambulance." "Fuck you, you stupid bitch." He pushed himself out of the chair. "Do you all see how crazy she is? Why do any of you buy into this garbage? They all say things you want to hear and y'all eat it up like pig slop." Shaking his head, he turned and headed towards the street, the crowd parting for him. "And y'all feed into it by watching. I hope that you—" A blaring car struck the man, sending him flying through the air a few feet. He landed with a thud, the sound accompanied by the startled screams of the crowd. The fortune teller held the phone to her ear, watching the man through the people starting to congregate at his side. "Yes, I would like to report a man struck by a car, please." The entire encounter took no more time, perhaps 5 minutes at most. Paramedics took longer to arrive due to traffic, but the last thing the man saw before he was wheeled into the emergency vehicle was the fortune teller through the faces of the crowd. He would have reached out to her, giving one last silent insult for her, but his arms were strapped down just like the rest of them. And she stood there, watching the ambulance blare off down the street, her hand shuffling the cards. She pulled out one and studied it, her eyes going soft at the illustration of death. Should have made better choices. This has been Miss Karma by Carrow Brown. If you enjoyed this story, you may enjoy the others part of the Authortube Audiobook Anthology. The link to the playlist is found in the video description below. Thank you for watching and listening, and please, make good choices.